Muy buenas gente, aquí Tipper al habla, estamos de nuevo en un vídeo de Witcher 3 en la expansión Blood and Wine y estamos prácticamente en el final, o eso creo. Vamos a tenernos que enfrentar a Dettlaff, está ayudándonos Regis, están allí peleando. Justamente tuve que cortar aquí porque ya esto es la lucha final, creo. No tengo ni idea de qué es lo que continúa justo detrás, pero no creo que falte mucho. Y bueno, venimos hasta aquí, hasta esta zona. Supongo que esto es Tesham Mutna, que es el castillo donde vinimos con Regis en su momento para sacarle sangre. Y ahí hemos venido con Siana. Y parece que el encuentro no ha sido lo mejor del mundo y Dettlaff ha intentado matarla. Pero como conseguimos en el episodio anterior el lazo protector, pues le hemos salvado la vida. Eso ha estado muy bien, realmente bien. Y bueno, vamos a ver si podemos partirle la cara al vampirito este. Va a ser un combate duro, casi seguro que no sé si no llegará a matarme, pero la otra vez que intenté pelear contra él me partió en dos. Así que bueno, vamos a untar aceite de vampiros y demás. Vamos a ver. Esto es solo para... Los vampiros y los necrófagos sufren hemorragias, pues nos va a venir como Dios. Relictos, vampiros. Untamos vampiros, usamos esto y usamos esto. Y vamos allá. No, Regis, tío. No quiero que muera, tío. Buah. No, tío. Por piedad. Ahora esto es entre tú y yo. Vamos a bailar. Es un poco peor de lo que creía. Estás jodido, ¿eh? Vale, aquí tenemos al de la portada. Esto da un poquito más de mal rollo. Bien. ¡Ah! ¡Que me mata, tío! ¿En serio? Me tengo que estar curando a base de aceitunas. No sé. Nos mata. Vamos. Lo estamos fastidiando bien, ¿eh? ¿Qué? ¿Cómo? Nos ha mordido, tío. ¿Qué paranoia es esta? Eso no te lo puedes parar, ¿eh? Me mata. Tío, joder. Ah, amigo. Me ha matado. Me cago en todo. No me he fijado en la vida. Es que quita muchísima vida, ¿eh? Pillando. ¿Dónde está? Esto me quita muchísima vida. Es mal que llevo Beauclair. Bien, 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 bien. Llegamos a la última parte. Vale. Esto no sé si nos va a hacer convertirnos en vampiros a nosotros. Espero que no. Sangre negra se ha acabado. Vamos a atender aquí todo. Vamos a untar otra vez aceite de este. Vamos con esto. Y... leches, no voy a poder guardar, ¿verdad? Que va, que va. No, joder. No, tío, es que me quita muchísima vida. No puedo, ¿eh? A ver. No, 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 no. Cabrón. Déjame tranquilo. Uf, es que no puedo ni tocar nada. Ya no sé qué hacer, ¿eh? Es que voy muy... La toxicidad la llevo al puto máximo. ¿Puedo...? ¿Miel blanca tengo? A esto me va a venir de perlas, pero necesito miel blanca. Está aquí, ¿verdad? Vale, perfecto. ¿Cómo ando de vida? A ver. Volvemos a tomar esto. Pero muévete, Geralt, tío, muévete, coño. Joder. Porque no sé ni a qué botón le he dado ya. No me fío nada, tío, no me fío nada. Estoy muy nervioso. Y se pone ahora con el mando a cargar. Pues sí, hombre. A ver. Vamos a ver. Último empujón. Vamos a tomar otra miel blanca. Y volvemos a restablecernoslo todo. Es que tengo 2000 de vida. No, y después nos estampamos una de estas y ya está. Vamos a ver, por partes. Ahí lo tenemos. Toxicidad a 0. Sangre negra de nuevo. Rayo de nuevo. Y... esta vamos a cambiarla por esta. Nos vemos apurados. Nos curamos del todo. Vale, vamos allá, ¿eh? Bien, 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 bien. Ahí está. No sé qué es lo que va a pasar, pero... no sé si era eso lo que teníamos que hacer. Pero vamos a por él, vamos a por él, vamos a por él. Ahí está. Claro que sí. Vampiro superior. No, vampiro en 2. Nos han mordido, eso es algo que me preocupa también. Bueno, este se regenerará, o sea que no va a tener problema. Se quiere regenerar, hay que quemarlo, ¿no? Solo otro vampiro superior puede acabar con él.
Leave him to me. Be gone.
I can't let...
I insist.
Vamos de toxicidad hasta los ojos. Que se une, tío, que se une. ¿Pero qué? ¿Me estás diciendo en serio que vas a dejarlo? ¿Se acabó? Menuda batalla. Y aquí estamos. No sé ni qué sale por ahí.
What a smashing ensemble. You wear it well.
Shut up. I look like a twit.
Parece un capullo.
Kaftan is sewn of the best fabrics available, and according to the best tailoring practices. But one must have a modicum of taste to appreciate this. Even the most exquisite robes cover only deficiencies in beauty, never in refinement.
Estoy acostumbrado a llevar prendas diferentes.
Usually wear something different, better suited to my trade. Got nothing against this particular outfit, though. Just don't exactly feel comfortable in it. And I despise formal occasions.
Nothing one can't get accustomed to. Now, be so kind as to stand still. All that being as it may, Toussaint's highest honor, the Order of Vitis Vinifera, demands appropriate attire. The Duchess cannot be expected to drape the medal on a suit of armor caked in mud. Palace protocol places enormous emphasis on form, virtuous tradition, etiquette.
Huh. A tradition which values appearances ahead of all else. Which calls for lordly, glistening triviality and misplaced generosity.
Ya viene el rollo filosófico que me ahogo yo mismo.
Not because they refuse to buy you a new outfit.
Hardly. It's the tone I ever adopt when I find myself pondering, which, believe it or not, happens quite a lot. Besides, I've no need for a new outfit as I shall not be attending the ceremony.
Why not?
Because unlike you, I don't have to. I shall begin to pack my belongings instead. I trust you'll join me later, once you're richer by a medal and a fascinating new experience.
Count on it.
Eso me suena de algo.
Ceremonies, medals honoring virtues, just keeps coming up.
I've had no reprieve either. And I keep thinking of the last great virtue, compassion. It's the one piece of the puzzle that never seemed to fit.
Mean you suddenly believe the 5 virtues theory, after all we've revealed?
It's not a question of belief, superstition, or old wives' tales. It's a conclusion derived through exercising pure logic. Siana planned everything in advance. Had we not stopped her, surely there'd have been a 5th victim. One the gossips would have associated with a lack of compassion.
Her plans don't matter now. Can't act on them. Ask the messenger who delivered my invitation to the ceremony. Siana's in the palace. Courtiers pressured the Duchess to lock her in a tower.
Do you care not to
¿Qué
witness
zapatos más
in
guapos
the
llevo, tú?
We've some time before the ceremony. We could still chat with that boot-cleaning urchin. He was the one to pass the victims' names to Dettlaff. Perhaps we missed something.
¿Cómo sabes que el limpiabotas entregó las cartas?
Regis, Bootblack didn't say anything about making deliveries when we talked to him. How do you know he handled the letters?
While you basked in glory and tried on new formal wear, I conducted a little investigation of my own. You'd be very proud to see how I conducted myself. I began by concocting an ample supply of boot wash for our enterprising young friend. I'd observed that among street folk, amidst their society as a whole, reciprocity takes precedence over all other codes, and thus no good deed goes unrewarded. Of course, the same holds true for malicious or destructive deeds.
The letters. What's the connection?
When the bootblack arrived to collect his bucketful, he hinted he knew more. Simply put, we'd failed to ask the proper questions when we chatted earlier. It took a bit more tongue-loosening, but ultimately he spoke. He admitted he'd handed Dettlaff the letters. He knew this information was valuable to me. In providing it, he was simply repaying me.
No tiene sentido seguir investigando. No es una mala idea hablar con el limpiabotas. Nos veremos allí. Tienes razón, tenemos que hablar con el limpiabotas. Vamos.
All in all, why not check up on that? We'll go together, assuming we're done here.
I am done, yes. It lies in your hands now to see if you are able to present my handiwork at the ceremony with the dignity it is due. Or if you will first destroy it, crawling about the city's underbelly.
Promise to be careful.
La ciudad estará destrozada, estará desolada.
Oh, it's the swordsman. Good to see you. Here for a spiffing? Dirty boots are a stain on professional dignity, you know. Step on up.
Need to ask you something.
Yet again? Go on then. I'm a proponent of free speech and I will gladly tell you all I know. But why not get your boots shanked while we jabber?
Guess they could use a spit and polish.
Then I shall take advantage as well. A friend of mine used to say boots should be as clean as the soles that wear them.
Madre mía, vaya zapatos.
Clean boots, clean soles. A fine slogan.
¿Cómo va el negocio?
How's business?
Well enough, I can't complain. Though it'd be even better were certain folk to sit down for a shine as they stood and chatted.
¿Recuerdas las cartas que entregaste?
Man in the frock coat. You passed him some letters, remember?
Why, of course. I'm young, got a mind like a steel trap, but...
If you're about to tell me this information will cost me, forget it. How'd you get those letters?
Beggars brought them.
¿Por qué no nos lo dijiste antes?
Why didn't you tell us this before, when we first talked?
You didn't ask about beggars now, did you?
¿Quién eran esos mendigos?
Beggars. Tell us more about them. How many were there?
Why, 4. 1 for each letter.
Just 4? Sure you didn't get a 5th?
I can't count, you know.
Remember anything else? These beggars have anything in common?
What? Come now. Each was different. Some had mismatched boots, others had no boots at all. Oh, I know! They all had no home!
Kid, my patience is starting to run a little thin. Now think hard.
¿Te acuerdas de su aspecto?
Remember what they looked like?
Of course. I've a mind like a steel trap, as I said. They were ragged, unshaved. Their clothes were tattered. As to their boots, well, I mentioned that already.
Geralt, allow me to ask a question. Listen, lad. I'll be glad to mix another batch of that boot shine for you. But you must focus now and tell us all you know. Where can we find the beggars?
Well, at the shelter, most like.
Where's that?
Everyone knows. It's just round the corner. Up those stairs, then right.
Thanks, kid. For your trouble.
Bueno.
We must visit the shelter. Look around inside.
Lista de precios. Juega con el niño. No sabe nada. Subir a la derecha. Es aquí. Esta no. Esta. Tampoco. Esta. ¿Qué pone aquí? No sé qué. Bueno, pues parece que esto no ha acabado del todo.
You? What do you want?
To talk.
Here, that's a waste of breath. We've tried it, only to tire our lips. We'll use other means of persuasion now.
Gentlemen, calm, please.
Either get out along with these flea-ridden vagabonds, or we'll toss you all out. Our patience is gone. This place is no longer a wreck, refuse dump.
Scram! Decent folk live here.
¿Qué hay de malo en que vivan aquí?
The shelter, them living here, bothers you. Question is why.
Look, Ballard. Another defender of the poor, fighter for justice.
Damn nuisance. We've our women and young folk living next door, when even grown men fear to walk past such rabble.
¿Te refieres a vosotros? ¿Vosotros sois decentes?
Decent folk you mention. Mean yourselves.
Why? Do you doubt it?
Hell yes.
Hear that, Artois? He poking insults us. On our own turf.
We should step aside, good fellow. My friend is perfectly capable of settling this unfortunate dispute.
A estas alturas peleando. A puños.
Come now, Witcher.
Hasta con nuestras mejores galas.
What? Lost your nerve?
Venga, pega. Ni me han tocado.
All right. I can take a hint. Come, time to go. I thank you so much for your aid. I tried to reason with them, but they'd have beat me blue had you not come along. I'm grateful. Immensely.
What did they want from you?
They are neighbors. Wish me to take my folk, the shelter, elsewhere. They dislike that I help the beggars. I do not oppose going elsewhere were we to have somewhere to go. But you've come with a problem, have you? My turn to aid you.
¿Qué es este lugar?
What is this place? Poorhouse?
You could call it that. They come here to rest and eat a hot meal.
You help them, why?
Because they need help.
Buena respuesta. Necesitamos información.
Need some information. Looking for a man who might have mentioned the bootblack in Rue de Garl.
The bootblack? A feisty lad. I know him.
Any of your, wards supposed to meet him recently or soon?
Forgive me. Those I help and I are not so close that I would know. But should you wait, they'll all soon come for their meal. You can question them yourselves.
¿Están aquí todos los mendigos?
Sure all your usual beggars will be here?
They're not obliged to come, of course. But they rarely find a decent meal elsewhere. So, almost all in the area eat here.
Gracias, esperaremos.
Thanks. We'll wait. Nice of you to let us.
My dears, I've a matter to address before I serve the soup. These two gentlemen have some questions of you. Pay attention. Answer in brief. For if you draw it out, your soup will go cold, and we wouldn't want that, would we?
Recently, 4 of you delivered sealed letters to the bootblack. I know this.
Does anyone know what the gentleman means? Go on, speak up. Romain?
¿Nadie?
Why should I squeal? We were all told not to mention the letters. We all swore.
You can tell me, Romain. You were given a letter and you delivered it, right? Good work, Romain. Thank you. Who else?
I got one too. Gave it to the bootblack. And Freshy, he got one. But he can't tell you, as he's not here.
¿Y el otro?
I still have mine. I'm to deliver it 2 days after the Feast of St. Barnabas.
Dame esa carta.
It's a matter of importance to the duchy. Hand it over, or I'll take it from you, plain and simple.
But I was to deliver it personally. Let no one else see it. That is what she said, and she was frightening.
You ought to heed folk who are kind and honest. These men helped me a short while ago, helped all of us. If this individual threatened you, you need not keep the promise you made.
All right, take it. I didn't want to see the bootblack anyways. It's always muddy there.
¿Quién es la quinta víctima? ¿Puede ser la duquesa?
Damn it.
What is it? Another name, truly?
See for yourself.
Well. I must say, even I did not expect this. This time you will see to our duquesa. It seems we underestimated Siana rather grossly.
Su propia hermana.
Judging by this, Dettlaff was literally supposed to tear her heart out.
Yet first you must snap her neck. Puzzling.
Con esto se completa el rompecabezas.
Puzzle complete now.
Alas, the matter's ceased to be a tantalizing brain tease and has turned incredibly grave. We've proof of a plot to assassinate Toussaint's ruler. We've proof of a coup d'etat.
La última víctima, la duquesa.
Duchess was to be Dettlaff's last victim. Siana planned it from the start.
Indeed. The logical conclusion, Geralt.
4 seemingly random victims to start. The virtue's their only link. Enough to get folk talking about a righteous, vengeful beast. Obscured the victims' links to Siana, even as she had those she despised killed off one by one, leaving the Duchess for last.
Had she managed to fulfill her plan, none would have questioned the reasons. Most would have thought Anna Henrietta had died for her sins. She was known to show a hard heart on many occasions. Ample proof of a lack of compassion.
Why would Siana murder her own sister? Out of envy? To take power? From an inborn penchant for evil?
Yes, yes, and yes. All seem likely, and none are mutually exclusive. But if you'd like to know for certain, you could always ask yourself.
Pero si está en el mundo de Yuppie. Me encantaría conocer sus motivos. ¿Crees que es una buena idea?
Think it's a good idea. After all, we foiled her carefully planned scheme. Think she'll even want to?
Talk to you? Would it harm you in any way to try? Some philosophers think empirical examination the sole path to knowledge. I believe you mentioned the Duchess keeps Siana locked up.
Courtiers were insisting on a harsher punishment. Much harsher. Think Anna Henrietta had to protect her sister from a lynch mob as much as she wanted to protect her subjects from a criminal. One way or another, she's locked away in a secluded wing of the palace, awaiting trial before a court of law. I'd need to get past some guards to see her.
¿Vienes conmigo?
Coming with?
Of course not. I shall await you at Mare la Chaise-Longue. I'll not risk entering the palace after Dettlaff and his minions rampage. Besides, I vastly prefer the company of a simple mug of mandrake brew to that of the Duchess's vile sister.
So, said straight up, it means you're going off to get drunk because you hate Siana.
I've never been fond of categorical statements of that kind, but I admit I could not vouch for my behavior in her presence. She treated Dettlaff cruelly, caused his death in the end, and now this? Atop all that? No, Geralt. I will not go with you. I will await you at the cemetery.
Perfecto, Regis. Te comprendo. Vale. Habla con Siana, es el objetivo.
The Duchess summoned him. I wonder what...
Yep. I'm going to heal.
Pues realmente tiene que quedar muy poquito. No llevo ni espadas, ni llevo nada encima. Estamos en el pueblo y la ciudad nos va a pillar bastante... O sea, la ciudad, el castillo. Ahora esta es la zona que cruza hacia allí. Buena caminata que tenemos que darnos, sí señor. A ver una cosa. Vamos a ver en el cartel por si acaso. Si es que sí que acabaremos antes y algo así. Vale, aquí estamos. Voy a guardar partida. Y vamos a buscarla. La tienen aquí en la torre encerrada. Y ahora se buguea. ¿Dónde está? Más arriba aún. Las escaleras. Bueno, ahora tenemos que saltar varios guardias, ¿no?
Halt!
Need to see Sienna, urgently.
In the matter of?
Quiero hablar con ella, así de sencillo. Es sospechosa de planear el asesinato de la duquesa. Vamos a decirle que quiero hablar con ella, simplemente.
Want to talk to her. It's important.
Want to talk? Go see your gran at tea time. Not one locked up on the Duquess's orders.
Sé que si le digo lo otro me va a dejar pasar, pero...
Permission. Period.
Found some information important to her case. Need an explanation, urgently.
Ah, fine then. You're that witcher who solved the murders, no? Then you've my permission.
Suficiente.
But only for a few minutes.
Promise to be brief.
The witcher will speak with the inmate. You can take a momentary break.
As long as it's truly but a moment. Highly irregular, this.
Ahí la tenemos.
Have you come to see how I fare? I'm fine, thank you. Artorius' ribbon worked wonders. It's a shame they took it from me.
I know who the 5th victim was supposed to be.
Goodness, you're simply a compulsive snoop. I'm in prison. Dettlaff is dead. Could you not just drop it?
Sienna, stop pretending you couldn't care less. I know it's an act, and it's really starting to wear. Why do you want to kill her?
For such an accomplished investigator to ask about the obvious? Come now, Geralt. Why do you think?
Por la maldición del sol negro, porque tenías envidia de ella, porque te dio la espalda y se olvidó de ti.
Because she turned her back on you, then banished all memory of you?
Bravo, Geralt. Yet another riddle solved, and your sick curiosity sated. Well, what now? Off to share your discovery with Anna Henrietta? No, she's no longer in danger, true. But she very well might add a little something to your reward.
Definitely gonna tell her. Not necessarily for the coin, though.
Then why do it at all?
She ought to know. If only 'cause you'll probably try to kill her again if she ever lets you out.
I probably will.
Ah, por fin un poco de sinceridad. ¿Alguna vez has pensado en perdonarla?
Perhaps, just for a second, you could stop dwelling on all the wrongs folk have done you and forgive her.
Why should I?
For old time's sake. You loved each other once.
Please. I don't know who fed you that rubbish, but...
Read your governess's diary. You played together, were inseparable. Henriette'd get you into trouble sometimes, sure. But there were also times she stood up for you. When you had nightmares, only she could calm you. Time eats away at memories, distorts them. Sometimes we only remember the good. Sometimes only the bad.
If she loved me so, why did she wash her hands off me? Forget me, hmm?
Era solo una niña. Podrías preguntárselo. ¿Era solo una niña?
Sienna, you were exiled when she was how old? 12? 13? She was a child. What was she supposed to do? Rebel? Organize a coup? Steal your father's seal and forge a pardon? She was powerless. Wiped you from her memory not because she didn't care, but because your departure was traumatic for her. She forgot because that was the only way she could handle the pain.
Ugh. You really want a happy ending, don't you?
Claro.
Ah, with all of us living happily ever after. Go, Witcher, or they'll give your medal to another. And that would be a shame.
Farewell, Sienna.
Vale, ¿y ahora qué?
Commander Dettlaff would like to see you. Shall we go at once?
Vamos para allá. Sí, vamos.
Let's go. Want to see him too.
Aquí está Damien.
Damien.
Geralt, it's about time. Ready for the ceremony?
Podemos empezar. Sé quién iba a ser la quinta víctima. No tiene buen aspecto.
Your face doesn't look good. Though it looked even worse last I saw you.
I apply a balm of arnica. Yeah, I hardly feel it anymore.
Si lo decimos, yo creo que no. Podemos empezar.
All right, we can start.
Very well. But you must behave. Less like a hired thug, and more like a man deserving of the duchy's highest honor. In fact, you'd do best to maintain a dignified silence throughout. Let's begin the ceremony. Come with me. The Duchess awaits. In the Guild's name, I beg your assistance, your enlightened highness. Without barrels, production will come to a stop, and it will be the end of us.
You lost them all in the fire. These are horrible tidings. Oh, we are most dreadfully saddened.
Yes, your enlightened highness all. Once the beasts had clawed their way into the warehouse, the whole place went up in flames.
I shall dispatch a palace guardsman to examine the site of the blaze. If things are, as you say, fitting compensation shall be paid from the ducal treasury.
Thank you, your enlightened highness. Your Grace, Geralt of Rivia has arrived.
My dear subjects, we come now to our next point of business. Of all the duties which fall upon my shoulders, as the ruler of this dominion, this duty is dearest to my heart.
Vamos muy guapos.
Now, we shall award the Order of Vitis Vinifera, Tucson's highest honor.
Geralt of Rivia, slayer of the beast of Beauclair, step forth.
Eso han sido 3 o 4 pasos.
Upon the Witcher, who saved Beauclair from the terrible beast. Such is our desire.
Qué bonito pin.
May this symbol serve as a
El último
reminder
gran
to
héroe.
all that the Witcher shall forever remain a friend of Beauclair. In more familiar terms now, I thank you immensely, Geralt. Damien has your reward for you. After all, it was but a contract.
Thank you.
I have a small surprise for you, in addition.
5.000
I
monedas.
give you more than a dozen barrels of Son Real, a wine normally reserved for the ducal table.
Muchas gracias.
The gustatory experience of a lifetime awaits. Are you content?
Me siento muy honrado, estoy deseando probarlo. Tengo mala noticia, Sienna pretendía mataros. Me siento muy honrado.
Feels like a second distinction. I'm honored. Thank you.
I trust you shall make good use of it.
Algo hay que no te... que te atormenta.
In a moment I shall speak to Sienna. Will you assist me? You returned my sister to me, yet you also showed me her horrendous deeds. As head of state, I must judge her fairly, but she is my sister. Thus my heart bleeds for her.
If my presence will help in any manner, of course I'll stay.
Ahí estaremos.
We shall now question a person implicated in the murders which recently ravaged our fair city of Beauclair. Captain de la Tour, show Silvia Anna in.
Silvia, se llama Silvia. De lo de Siana. Está más nerviosa que la hermana propia.
The Witcher will take part in our talk.
La duquesa me ha pedido que me quede.
The Duchess requested I be present.
You have committed crimes. Grave crimes. Yet you are my sister, and my heart does not allow me to treat you as a common criminal. Thus I have asked Geralt to advise me, as one impartial. I shall now hear what he has to say.
Los crímenes de Siena fueron horribles, pero tenía motivos que la hacían sufrir. Vamos a decirlo primero, obviamente. No vamos a decir sin duda, Siena es culpable, es lo único que importa.
Bitterness consumes Siana. She had cause to resent many of the court of Beauclair. I know her reasons, understand them even. But I can't condone the actions she chose to take.
What is he talking about, Siana?
You know exactly what. I was forcibly exiled, remember? To your benefit. You knew well the throne would then be yours, though I was the elder. The ministers I can understand. They'd hated me since I was a child, thought me a poor prospect for the wife of a duke. I even understand our parents. I'd always sensed the problem. They simply feared me, for I dared to be free. That fabricated curse, it fell into their laps. A gift from above that brought relief. But you... Your dagger hurt most. You were my Henrietta, damn it. My darling little sister. Now do you understand, Witcher? She betrayed me.
¿Dices que comprendes a todos los que odiabas? ¿A los que hiciste matar?
Claim to understand them all? Why'd you come back for revenge? Have them all cut down then?
They deserved my vengeance. They detested me, all of them, as long as I can remember. But Henrietta understood me. Once. She was all I could cling to. Her betrayal hurt the most.
Las dos erais unas niñas.
You were children then. You and your sister both had no control over what happened.
You're wrong, Witcher. She had control. Remember, dear sister, the day they banished me from the palace? Of course, I'd had the idea to pelt the Nilfgaardian envoy with fish bladders, which we filled with rancid suet on a lark, and which you set afire at the last to impress me, I imagine. And I admit, you did. Hit him right in his hideous bald patch. Never laughed so hard in my life. But when it came time to find the culprit, you said not a word. I took all the blame and all the punishment.
It's true. I did not stand up for you. I was too afraid.
The council was unanimous. They listed all my offenses. My flights from the palace, supposed acts of cruelty, inappropriate friendships. They cast me out, but you, the only one to understand me, you cowered in a corner, lifted not a finger to help. Not before, not after. You never tried to find me.
That's not true. I searched for you. Sent out knights, gathered tidings from without. You did not wish to be found. Since the day you vanished, I have lived with the knowledge that I failed you. I'm sorry, dear sister. Can you forgive me?
Muy bien. Miren las chismosas ahí a la izquierda. Esa sonrisa lo dice todo.
All in all, best part of the whole ceremony, it was short.
Perhaps for you, as you ducked out early. The others are probably just getting started. The drunkenness never ends in this quaint realm.
Not so fond of Toussaint after all, are we?
Ah, this place is like a strong wine, Geralt. Good in small sips. How do you find my personal brew? Not too strong?
Just right.
Credit the local mandrake of the Alrauna diavolis variety for that. The tubers which grow in this area's volcanic soil have an altogether unique flavor profile and display a remarkably uncommon dark brown tint.
Oh, Reyes, qué entendido eres.
All I can say is this batch turned out excellent.
Indeed. It might be wise to stockpile some roots for the future. Would you care to accompany me?
Ahora mismo, oscuras.
You decide to go root picking now? It's dark out.
Geralt, even were I generously to assume it had simply slipped your mind that I am a vampire and thus need no light to see, I'd never believe you had also forgotten that you likewise have absolutely no trouble seeing in the dark. So, shall we?
Vale, vamos.
If you think it's a good idea, let's go. But I think you might be forgetting one thing. Fresh mandrake root of this variety is highly toxic, even to a witcher.
Ah, not a problem. I never forget matters of safety and hygiene in alchemy. Here, gloves and a mask. Don them, and you shall be in no danger.
Thanks. Right then, let's go.
This moonlight makes
Pues,
me so dreamy.
Penny for your thoughts. Let me guess. Succubus twins?
Las tetas de un sucubo, dice.
No, I was thinking about, how anything can look interesting when properly lit.
Even an old necrophage corpse?
A ver si
You've
acaban.
not an ounce of refinement in you, have you?
Vale. Pues gente, realmente no sé qué le puede quedar al juego, pero se alarga más y más y más y no acaba nunca. Voy a dejar el episodio por aquí. Luego pues el trocito que haya que hacer, más los créditos, más luego la despedida que quiero hacer, porque hay una cosita que quiero enseñaros. Y nada, este lo vamos a dejar por aquí. Lo dicho de siempre, muchas gracias por ver el vídeo, espero que os haya gustado. Yo lo estoy disfrutando muchísimo y esta parte final ha sido brutal. Si dais un like o dejáis un comentario, lo agradezco mucho. Podéis dejar en comentarios lo que queráis. También podéis dar un dislike si no os ha gustado, que se le va a hacer. También podéis suscribiros al canal si os gusta el contenido. Y nada, nos vemos en el siguiente. Un saludo y chao, chao.
So light, anxious, wide.